Okay. All right. I think we're back. It was successfully this time. Hopefully. Let us find out. Awesome. So, whatever. It's fixed. So, today I want to talk about a number of things. I've taken an interest in Freemasonry for reasons unknowable and unknown. Ha 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 ha. I love that joke. Anyways, and so with this Freemasonry book, Morals and Dogma, we're going to read it. But also, I'd love to talk about the Book of the Law a little bit and some of the insights I was having today. Because today I woke up early and I was watching this game, Ready or Not, and it was talking about some of the darkest things and people in our world. And I was contemplating about love and compassion um, for the victims and for the perpetrators, and the value thereof, or lack of value. Uh, um, and so there was a part of the Book of the Law that stood out to me this morning, and I'm going to pull it up. I don't quite remember it off the top of my head. It was something about like reason. It was there's great danger in me, for who doth not understand these runes shall make a great mess. He shall fall down into the pit called a because, and there he shall perish with the dogs of reason. Now a curse upon because and his kin, may because be accursed forever. And I think the general assumption of most Thelemites is that your true will is to be more naughty than you're currently being. But I think for myself, I grew up with parents like that. And so my true will in the American context is to be less naughty than I have been. Anyways, for those who are Thelemites, and I do bring that up because I am an active, practicing, and faithful member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I have a strong testimony of. I am an active, practicing, and faithful member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I have a strong testimony of the Book of Mormon being the most correct book on the earth. At the same time, I have a Catholic friend, and the book we read in common is the Book of the Law, I suppose, very much so. And so, I was reading this book, which encourages some things like doing strange drugs and indulging in sensual pleasures, and thinking about which parts seemed to me like lies from the adversary and which parts didn't. And it was like, well, if this text is consistent with itself, probably either on the one hand, I am wrong, being right on the other hand, but on the other hand, I am wrong, being right on the other hand. And so just recontemplating some of my things. But anyways, I've been chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo somewhat recently, but and just like, it's like a vocal practice, but I think I felt some power leave me, and I think I've seen worldly influences begin to infiltrate my sacred bedroom in greater amounts. And so I think as far as chanting, I can probably sing hymns, set a 10-minute timer or whatever, and have very much the same experience especially if I'm not doing it to be heard, to practice to perform as a musician, but rather to practice for myself, to experience breathing and extroversion, and to just kind of ground in that. Rather than have like religious schizophrenia or religious personality disorder, multiple religion disorder. Anyways, Morals and Dogma by Mr. Pickett. Oh gosh. The 12-inch rule and the common gavel. And there's a 12-inch rule and a common gavel. Force, unregulated or ill-regulated, is not only wasted in the void, like that of gunpowder burned in the open air, and steam unconfined by science, but striking in the dark, and it blows, meeting only the air. They recoil and bruise itself. It is destruction and ruin. It is the volcano, the earthquake, the cyclone, not growth and progress. It is Polyphemus blinded, striking at random and falling headlong among the sharp rocks by the impetus of his own blows. All right, who is Polyphemus? Some Roman guy. Polyphemus first appeared as a savage man-eating giant in the 9th book of the Odyssey. Yeah, I mean, I can think of all of my unregulated forces and the destruction they've caused. The blind force of the people is a force that must be economized and also managed as the blind force of steam. Lifting the ponderous iron arms and turning the large wheels is made to bore and rifle the cannon and to weave the most delicate lace. It must be regulated by intellect. Intellect is to the people and the common people's force, with a slender needle of the compass is to the ship. Its soul always counseling the huge mass of wood and iron, and always pointing to the north, to attack the citadels built upon all sides against the human race by superstitions, despotisms, and prejudices. The force must have a brain and a law. And the brain must have a force and a heart. And, I think it's truly a balance. Then its deeds of daring produce permanent results, and there is real progress. Then there are sublime conquests. Okay, we made it through like a page. Here, let's finish this paragraph. Thought is a force, and philosophy should be an energy, finding its aim and its effects in the amelioration of mankind. The two great motors are truth and love. When all these forces are combined and guided by the intellect and regulated by the rule of right and justice, and of combined and systematic movement and effort, the great revolution prepared for by the ages will begin to march. What? See, I'm saying these words, but I'm not like processing them. The two great motors are truth and love. Wow. Mind and heart. Thought is a force in philosophy. Should be an energy, finding its aim and its effects in the amelioration of mankind. What is it? That's like, I think it's like the relieving of pain, amelioration. There's a lot of words to look up here. Yeah. Or the act or process of making a bad or unpleasant situation better. Derived from the Latin melior, meaning better. When all of these forces are combined and guided by the intellect and regulated by the right rule of right and justice, and of combined and systematic movement and effort, the great revolution prepared for by the ages will begin to march. The power of the deity himself is in equilibrium with his wisdom. Hence, the only results are harmony. Next paragraph. It is because force is ill-regulated that revolutions prove failures. Therefore, it is that so often insurrections coming from those high mountains that domineer over the moral horizon, justice, wisdom, reason right, built of the purest snow of the ideal after a long fall from rock to rock, and after having reflected the sky in their transparency. Oh, and been swollen by 100 affluents, in the majestic path of triumph, suddenly lose themselves in quagmires like a California river in the sands. All right. Putting my Rouse card as a bookmark, and we will continue this un otra día. Muchas gracias.